I am Sasha Varel, and welcome to Scrolls. Scrolls Alpha, of course. Scrolls is a tactical card game where you build decks of either energy-based, growth-based, order-based, or any combination thereof, and pit it up against other decks of similar or different builds. You have creatures, abilities, walls, and so on. And the idea is that you have to attack the opponent's totems and reduce their energy to 0. From what I understand, victory is determined when at least 3 totems are defeated. I'll explain that in a minute when we actually get in game. I will say hi to the people in testing. It looks like Jacob is here, along with K Bastion, Chris, Makaru123. Oh, Hangman Boy just disappeared. Listiani Vlad, and Referee. I will tell you. Tell the room that we're recording here. Yes, Rokor142, you are going to be in a video. It's gonna be awesome. Alright. We should probably get in a game before we get lost in the chats. Hi, Victor. And, let's see here. Alright. Gonna hop in game. So that way I don't get lost in the chat room. Otherwise, I definitely will. Alright, we are going to do a quick match against an easy robot because I am sad. I've got 3 different decks here. I've got the Growth Pre-Constructed, which is something you get when you first start the game, when you run through the tutorial. I've also got an Automaton deck I build off of energy. And a Natural Order of Machines deck that I build off a combination of energy and growth, which is more or less effective, but it still requires a lot of fine-tuning. I'm not going to reveal that one just yet on the off chance that I actually play against somebody with it. So we will take Automaton, and we will join. And so we have the playing field. Very simple, straight to the point. You've got hexagonal grids, and these over here are your totems, or idols, or something. You can see their health by hovering over them. The idea is that your opponent's ones are on the right side, yours are on the left, and you want to have monsters or abilities or what have you attack these totems to cause damage to them. Now, summoning things is fairly simple. If you hover over a card here, you can see right in this vicinity what the cost of a given critter is. This Ether Bomb, which is a building, costs 4 energy to cast in this case. Now, you may have noticed that there's not actually any energy yet, so I'm not able to cast much of anything at the moment. So what you need to do is right-click on cards, and you can either sacrifice a card to draw 2 more cards, or you can sacrifice a card for a given type of energy. Now, if I were to have a deck that had, say, energy and growth in it, right-clicking this card would allow me to pick either an energy point or a growth point. Same with order or anything else. So it's entirely based on the way your deck is assembled. Now, since I have no energy and I do need to summon something, I think what I'll go ahead and do is sacrifice this Graveblock Elder for a point, and cast a Useless Contraption. Useless Contraptions are just a very simple building. There's a Junk Pile for growth and Obelisks for order, which do something very similar, or it's just a immobile, non-attacking building that serves entirely as a roadblock. They do have tactical uses, and while it, seems to be, as the name would suggest, useless, it's actually incredibly useful tactically speaking. Now, since our turn's done, and I literally cannot do anything else since you can only sacrifice 1 scroll per turn for any reason, and I have no more energy left, I'll go ahead and click on the hourglass here to go to the next turn. Easy Computer has summoned Kinfolk Brave. This guy can't attack. He's got an attack of 2, a countdown of 1, which basically means that while he's not attacking this turn, he probably will the next turn. Anything that has a countdown, a critter or a building that can attack on its own or what have you, will have a countdown like that, and the number determines how many turns it goes before it acts again. Now, it acts on its own, so this guy will attack on the next turn, you know, independent of what the easy robot wants. If this building had a similar countdown and an attack rating, it would do the same thing. He has a health of 2, which basically means he can take 2 damage, so if someone just like him were to attack him with an attack power of 2, he would die. Alright, we really need to get something other than just a building out here, so we will sacrifice that. We'll put up a copper automaton right in this guy's way. And a useless contraption. Oh, you know what I should have done? Oh, that's right, I can move the automaton back. Generally, moves can only go 1 square. I think there are units that are an exception to that, but I also can't remember off the top of my head. I'll have to check later. He summons a druid burial ground and attacked my building. Now, this building, of course, comes with a default health of 5, so it took 2 points of damage from his attack of 2. It's down to 3. He also cast a druid burial ground, which at the beginning of the turn allows the burial ground to heal 1 health of anything adjacent to it, so any of these hexes right around here. Now this thing is starting to glow, and it has a countdown of 0 there, which means that as soon as I hit this hourglass, it's going to attack. If I had other units that were in a similar situation, they would all attack on that turn. And that's basically how that works. Let's see here. Now, this particular automaton is going to destroy itself after attacking with an attack rate of 3. It should kill that guy, though. Oh, wait, no, it won't. It'll hit this building, because the building's in the way. Well, that said, if I'm going to do that, I may as well move him, or he'll get a totem. That'll be pretty awesome. Yeah. And I could summon a Gravelock Raider, but I'm going to sacrifice it and get a point and get one of these massive mortars. These things will lob in random directions. That seems to be what lobbers are about. So it could fire this thing, you know, once it counts down 2 turns later into any of these squares. You never know which one it's going to be. But it does so much damage that it's usually worth it. Alright, we'll go ahead and take off the thing and let the automaton attack. And it does 3 damage to that totem. He managed to get my useless contraption. That wasn't very nice. Now I'm kind of running short on cards here, so I'm going to sacrifice the ether pump to get a couple more. Hey, a scatter gunner. Alright. It's like holding a brass cannon. Love that guy. Cool. Now, I'm going to warn you that I'm probably going to lose this game because I'm not super great at it yet. I don't know that too many people are. But it is really fun. It's really easy to learn. I'm a lot better than when I first started. It does help if you have a little bit of background with tactical card games in the past, like Magic the Gathering or Yu-Gi-Oh! Or anything like that. Because the basic idea of a tactical card game is pretty universal. While Scrolls does diverge from the norm a little bit in some ways, it is very familiar to anyone who's ever played one with any amount of regularity. So, okay. Oh boy. Well, there went my mortar. Kinfolk veterans are very, very powerful units on Grove's side. I've seen, you know, 2 or 3 of these guys take out entire armies. It's pretty scary. Well, the Hellspitter mortar didn't exactly stand up too well, so what I'm going to go ahead and do then is drop a cannon automaton. These are pretty nice. High attack, high health for the win. I don't think this deck is the one I had that had a lot of enchantments in it. So it might be like I had the energy growth deck I built earlier had a lot of enchantments to it. So it was like a lot of units like these guys here, but then I'd bolster the ever-living K-Pock out of them with strength and health bonuses and stuff like that. Okay, I really need to put the Iron Golem in the way of somebody who can hit kind of hard, but kind of not, because I don't want him to get run over. Thing is, the Golem, or the Ogre, I'm sorry, does so much damage, and he's got an ability, Relentless, which means that if, for example, if he were to hit this building right here, which has a health of 5, and he's got an attack of 7, he would continue through it and hit this totem for the remaining 2 points he had left in attack. Relentless is really fun with big guys, especially. It can be useful on little guys, particularly little guys if you happen to enchant them, you know, very heavily. So and it looks like our Scattergunner's up for attack, so he's going to go ahead and fire. Brought that totem down just a little bit, but it looks like it healed off of something. And after a flurry of attacks, we are down to 2. If I was going to use Violent Dispersal on anything, I'd probably use it on this guy. Basically, Violent Dispersal is fairly self-explanatory. Destroy target unit. So, costs 6 energy, gonna cast it on their veteran there, and that's that. He's got quite an army going here. There's a very good chance I'm gonna lose this battle. But that's okay, I don't mind. The whole point is demonstration, after all. Ooh, let's put another ogre down. Yeah, good stuff. And the army of growth continues to summon walls and walls of stuff. This poor ogre's not doing so well. I could deal 3 points of damage to any single unit. If I was going to do it to any unit, I'd probably want to focus on ones that actually do some pretty serious damage. So I'll go ahead and get this guy. Burn him. Practically instant death there. We're going to split up these cards again, see if maybe we can't summon something. Nah, it doesn't look like it. That's alright, so we'll go ahead and take off the turn, and this guy's getting an attack of 7. These wolves have health of 2 each. So that's 2 and 4. That means he should continue through and damage this thing for 3. Since he is relentless. 5, 6, 7. There he goes. And while they do continue to wail away at my totems, largely owing to the fact that I don't have them protected very well. Let's see here. I think I'm gonna do is Quake is a little bit of a gamble because it does do 4 damage to all units across the field, which means I'm probably gonna pay for it with my golems as well. Unfortunate, but I'm willing to sacrifice that to get rid of most of their army. There is, of course, a very strong sense of consequence here. The game doesn't make concessions for if you make a bad tactical decision. In a way, I think that's part of the charm, actually, because it helps you to learn, what does work and what doesn't work. It's very, very good for that. Yeah, 2 quakes in a row, and that's that's the end of their army. And it's like we're starting all over again, just with slightly damaged totems. And considerably more points to spend, of course. So we'll go ahead and summon up some guys here. He could probably survive an onslaught, I would imagine. So we'll go ahead and put it back in the way. Yeah, alright. All in all, it's a very intuitive game to learn, I think. It doesn't take very long from the first time you play to figure out exactly what you're doing and how you could achieve victory in any given map. The tutorial is surprisingly good. It does give you a good solid idea of what to cast when and what things do. It's very well designed. I'm very happy with it. There are a few minor bugs here and there, but all in all, not nearly as many as I've seen in other alpha games. I've been consistently pleasantly surprised by just how well done it is so far. Okay, I don't have enough energy to play an ether plum. Those are useful, but I can't sacrifice any more scrolls. Basically, those things tick down every 3 turns, and then when they do, they deal a single point of damage to every enemy on the field. It's actually pretty useful. Alright. They're trying to beat up my catapult, but it's not gonna happen. I'm actually gonna split off that ether pump and see if I can get some more units. Okay, we'll go Infected Gravelock. I'll probably move you back here. Nah, no, we won't do that. Put an infected Gravelock right here. That ought to make their day all kinds of fun. Let's see. An automaton here. Oh, and the lobber takes out the guy. So much for the kinfolk. Wow, my graveyard guy's gone. Didn't take long, did it? Curious. Ooh. Nah, I don't think I want to do Quake just yet. I'll go ahead and summon a Golem and a Copper Automaton right behind him. Clear out some of that line, hopefully. And there goes one of my totems. Alright, we're going to split off Quake because I don't think I need to be using that right now. Get another Mortar. 3, 5, 7. I could summon all 3. If I was going to put Golem Skin on anything, it wouldn't matter because I don't have any structures in play. That's alright though. We'll go ahead and put a Mortar down. We'll put it behind the big guy. And an infected Gravelock. Let's see. Probably here. There goes the Lobber and the Automaton. I really need to move that Lobber because where it is currently, it's not actually doing anything. Because it's firing into those 4 hexagons over there, which of course are unoccupied. So, it looks like I actually can't move the little guy. He is immobile. That will happen sometimes. You'll get creatures that are immobile, like Gravelock here, can't move. That's something to definitely keep in mind when one is arranging characters and such on the battlefield. Very important to keep an eye on that. I haven't actually destroyed any of his totems yet. I think I've been playing a little bit too long with my energy growth deck, so I'm thinking in a completely different way as far as how I'm approaching this. So I will see if I get some better units on the field here. Let's see, they can do 3 points of damage. I don't think those guys can kill him, so we'll go ahead and put them all in the way. Well, I really do need to put something in the way there. Some kind of obstacle. Let's see. There we go. We know the catapult's going to attack this turn, although it shouldn't hit anything. The automaton's probably going to blow that tree stump away. And our infected Gravelock. Infected Gravelocks are a lot of fun, I think. They can poison anything that they attack. Which definitely has its uses in long-term combat. They have got a lot of Druid burial grounds, don't they? Let's take a look here. Put down a cannon automaton. Probably should have got more cards, but... Aha! Iron Ogre managed to tear through one of their healing thingies. Good stuff. Now you'll notice that the top row of guys are still attacking my first totem there. It would seem kind of senseless for them to do that since they're not actually doing anything to an already dead totem, but creatures can only move directly from one hexagon to another. So say this ancestral totem wasn't in the way, the kinfolk veteran would be able to move to that square or hex, and then, you know, the next one over or here if this were empty. But since they're both trapped up there, all they can do is just let their ticks run down, and as I mentioned before, they have to attack. They don't really have a choice. Let's see. Well, we did mention that? Wait, no. Now, you may notice that because of the Elder here, it gives +1 attack and health to all the Gravelog creatures on the map, so this guy has 2 and 2, this one also has 2 and 2. Because of him, normally these guys are 1 and 1. Let's see. I think I'll go ahead and use Crimson Bolt. It gives everybody on the field +2 attack for this turn. Not so much to deal with the catapult, but definitely with the raider there. As you can see, he ripped through that entire line and managed to take that totem out pretty quickly. And the mortar persists. What to do? Let's go ahead and rearrange some guys here. We'll see how this goes. Junk Boy recently made a very interesting tweet inquiring as to why video game characters hate pottery so much. It makes a good point. A lot of characters like Link from the various Zelda games, or just about any RPG you could think of, generally ends up with a lot of smashed ceramics, pots and whatnot. And it does kind of make you wonder, when did that start? At what point did heroes start hating, you know, pots and vases so much? It's a curious question. We now have 2 ether pumps down. This one's about to tick off, so everybody on this side will take a point of damage for the win. Aha. Good stuff. Alright, got another Iron Ogre. It's worth noting that decks will recycle. It's not like, say, if you were to play Magic the Gathering, where once you've had cards discarded from play or anything like that, there's not a discard pile in the sense that we know from other games. What you have is the cards will rotate through them. So, like, say that particular Iron Ogre were to die or get cast out for other scroll points, he would eventually cycle back through again. So the only way to lose a game in that case is to have 3 of your totems get destroyed. Alright, they are down 2 now. I'm only down 1, but I've managed to protect the other 4 pretty well, for the most part. Let's see here. There's really no sense keeping that guy on that row, because... yeah. Truth be told, I could probably afford to move the Iron Golem off of that row as well. At this point, I really need to be focusing on, I think, these 2 rows here. That one with that guy up there, I don't like that. He hits too hard. He's not a nice guy. So we'll go ahead and get our guys arranged here. Oh boy, burn! Only deals 3 damage. Well, Suppose I could save myself some trouble and take this totem down. That'll help these guys in the future, hopefully. Oh, and the mortar hits, but doesn't hit anyone. That poor scattergunner is so beat up. Well, looky here. We can put down another mortar or a golem. Yeah. Alright, here's what we're going to do. We'll move that guy back 1, move him back 1, put the golem in the way. Ultimately, this guy's sacrificable. I'm not worried about that. But the golem will help keep the scattergunner intact, and because of his high damage, I do want to keep him around a little bit. Doesn't really make a lot of sense to lose him. Not if his death is eminently avoidable. Our useless contraptions have cycled back into the deck. Good stuff. I'm actually gonna split off the Hell Splitter cannon here and see what else I can grab. Oh, look at that. I can summon all three of these if I want to. I'll go ahead and throw a useless contraption in that road to keep that totem protected. A copper automaton in the back row here. It'll probably get run down by these two guys. But that's alright. Those guys are not relentless. I guess I could... it does seem like a waste, doesn't it? Here's what I'll do. I'll put the gun automaton there. And then on the turn before it fires, I'll move it up into that row. Hey! The mortar fire actually took out their big guy up there. Awesome. Violent Dispersal. And now that I've actually got some energy to spend, this is very useful. Get rid of that guy. Nice. And the automaton takes out their last druid healing thingy. Good stuff. Ooh. I'll just keep taking out their veterans there. That mortar has proved far more useful than I thought it ever could. It's rather funny. I'm used to losing mortars fairly quickly, and I'm pleasantly surprised to see that that one's still up and around. To aid it, I will put a useless contraption here. Let's see, the big guy ought to tear right through that and bring this thing down to about 2. Yep. Forgot to move the gun automaton. Well, that's alright. I guess I can go ahead and start arranging him. Now, he did attack that tree stump looking thing last turn, you recall. That's where the infected Gravelock would poison units that it attacked. That tree stump that he attacked, I forget the name of it honestly, but I know what it does. Anything that attacks it gets poisoned in return. So, he is poisoned. Loses 1 HP each round. Unfortunate, but what can you do? It's worth noting that if you have enchantments, like bonuses to strength or speed or anything like that, you can stack it on units if you want to. You can, of course, create a sort of super unit like that, like putting the Berserker Cap and the Life Leech Ring on a single unit, or maybe numerous ones of, the strength and health bonuses as well. And while you can make one, super-powered unit by doing that, it's worth noting that losing that super-powered unit becomes far more devastating should it happen. And it can happen. I've definitely seen it happen. So, just something to keep in mind there. Alright, we're going to put down another mortar here. Yes, cannon bomb. I could put down a Gulobber. Let's see what else we got here. Not unlike that stone cannonball I had earlier. Same thing, but a Lops Goo instead. Let's see here. Trying to see what all I can get away with summoning here. Alright, here we go. Alright, both these ether pumps are going to tick off on the same turn. So that guy's dead. Assuming the golem doesn't destroy him, of course. That guy's dead. And they're not. That totem is gone. That wolf will most certainly be gone. We'll just let it go. That totem is on its last leg. I am reasonably confident that defeating that totem will be the end of this game. As nice as it would be to stack an entire army on a single row, like say this one here, for this particular totem that I'm aiming for, it's not really, you know, because you only have 3 hexes per row, you can't really do that. So you do have to be very careful, very tactical about, you know, where your placement is and who's in what row. I went ahead and used Violent Dispersal on that unit so that the infected Gravelock could go ahead and take this totem out. It will end the game, of course, which is awesome. And I think just for giggles, I'll go ahead and try a... Oh, I can't try anything. Never mind. Alright, well, let's end it then. And there goes his last totem. Victory is mine. In a nutshell, that is the gameplay of Scrolls. I think what we'll go ahead and do in future games... I'm sorry, in future videos, what I'm going to go ahead and do is we'll take a look at some of the matchups with players. I'll also go ahead and give you a rundown with the deck builder in the next video, so keep an eye out for that. Each deck builder video, I think, is going to focus a little bit on each of the 3 main colors that are available right now, which is Growth, Energy, and Order, in that order. And I'll go ahead and walk you through the basics of assembling one deck from each of those colors. And then, as time permits, I think I'll go ahead and also explore some of the current available options if you wanted to do a mixed color deck, like what I've been trying to experiment with lately. And that is basically, in a nutshell, what we're going to be covering over the next month or so. So definitely keep an eye out for that, and thank you for watching this Scrolls fans video about the Scrolls Alpha game. Join me next time where we might actually get to play a member of Mojang. You never know, it could happen. Stay tuned.